guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. It's been a long time since the Duggar family was part of a TLC reality show, but it seems like at least one of them is friends with someone who is. In an Instagram photo dump that Duggar shared over the weekend, she quietly revealed that she spent time with Welcome to Plathville star Lydia Plath, something that has definitely thrown fans for a loop. Jinger's followers recognized someone familiar in her post. Hidden among the photos that Jinger shared from her weekend are a few snaps that include Lydia and her husband, Zach Weiss. In one of them, Jinger is posing for a selfie with Lydia and a couple of other women while out in Los Angeles together. It didn't take long before fans started leaving comments asking if that was Lydia Plath in the pictures, to which Jinger responded yes. Lydia also shared a photo on her own Instagram stories. Lydia shared the post on her Instagram stories, showing a photo of her and Zach sitting together on the couch in Jinger's house, holding her baby boy, Finn, who arrived at the end of March. No word on why Lydia and Zach were in lay or how she and Jinger ended up becoming friends, but it is sweet to see them enjoying time together. After all, can anyone understand what it's like to be on a TLC reality show other than another TLC reality? Star fans were happy to see Lydia and Jinger together. In the comments, fans shared just how much they were loving this counting on / welcome to Plathville crossover. All a visit from Lydia and her new husband. One person wrote. Another commenter added, "Oh, I love to see that he was rich." Others speculated that Lydia and Zach may have visited to be guests on Jinger and Jinger's podcast, but nothing has been announced just yet. The Duggars and Plaths have similar arrangements. In the past, Olivia Plath has confirmed that her family and the Plath family grew up in the world of the IDLP, the Institute of Basic Life Principles, just like the Duggars did, having experienced the same and later when he was arrested on child pornography charges in April 2021. It was not until later on, when we were walking through a lot of difficulties publicly, where one of my brothers made decisions that were very, very bad, and that landed him in prison, Jinger explained. In that time, I realized people are looking at this as Christianity, but this is not what the gospel is about. Somebody needs to speak up. People were saying, if this is Christianity, I want nothing to do with it, she added. At that point, it became a matter of not allowing myself to remain silent. Jinger went on to write a book, Becoming Free Indeed, about how she came to reject the IBLP principles under which she was raised and adopt a new attitude about her Christian faith. Jinger Duggar says she hasn't spoken to Josh in years since Josh's arrest. Jinger has generally remained quiet about her brother's crimes. But after he was convicted on multiple child pornography charges in December 2021, she and her husband Voulo did strict dress code. Of course, dancing was totally off the table because it is considered too sinful. And now that Joanna Duggar is making the choice to break another one of the rules she used to live by, fans are cheering. Joanna Duggar showed off her moves in a new video. In the video, Joy is dancing to Justin Timberlake's Can't Stop the Feeling as she changes into different outfits to show what a wide variety of clothing she has in her closet. One day I'm Pinterest mom, next day I'm just happy I'm dressed, she wrote in her caption, adding, "Can you tell I didn't dance as a kid?" Fans are cheering her on in the comments. In the comments, so many of Joy's followers are proud of her dancing. She might not have the same moves as a professional would, but plenty of people were proud of her for doing something that was forbidden while she was growing up. I've been following your family since before some of your siblings were even born, and I gotta say I love this content, one comment said. You harmlessly dancing around, full of literal joy singing and rocking these outfits. You seem so happy and watching this made me happy. Another person added, "Oh my gosh, I could cry watching how happy you were dancing, not to mention to a great song. I'm so happy for you." Her critics have a lot of thoughts. On a popular Duggar-related subreddit, Joy's critics aren't all that happy for her for breaking the rules and dancing instead. Some took this opportunity to point out that this is just one of the ways the Duggars are making their religious beliefs more relatable. It's all part of the overall rebranding of fundamentalism into something more palatable to the general public. So I'm not sure Jim Bob Duggar cares as much as we think, one person wrote. It's all a rebranding strategy. It's working. Do they even know that real dancing is said another comment? They all get the idea of the lifestyle and dancing. Some members of the family only started dancing really recently. In October, Jinger and Voulo revealed that their brother Jason Duggar's 2024 wedding to Mad Grace was the first and only to ever have a dance there, which led to some intriguing videos doing this. Jessa Duggar Seawald and her husband, Ben Seawald, are going to be parents again in March 2025. The couple who starred in TLC's 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off series, Counting On, announced that they are expecting their sixth child. Prior to their wedding on November 1, 2014, Jessa was already thinking about becoming a mom. "We both want to have a big family," she told POPL, adding that they were excited about building a future together, one filled with kids. Jessa and Ben welcomed their first child, son Spurgeon, in November 2015. Their second son, Henry, was born in February 2017, followed by their daughter Ivy in May 2019. After experiencing a pregnancy loss in 2020, Jessa welcomed another daughter, Fern, in July 2021. After another miscarriage in 2022, she gave birth to the pair's fifth child, son George. Here's everything to know about Jessa Duggar Seawald's children: Spurgeon, Henry, Ivy, Fern, George, and the baby on the way. Spurgeon Elliott Seawald 9. Jessa and Ben Wilberforce, on February 6, 2017. He was born at home like his older brother, but for Jessa, the second time around was far easier. Labor is labor, but it was calm and relaxed, she told PBL Ben, and I were surprised how fast it went. In fact, it was so sudden that Jessa's mom, family matriarch Michelle Duggar, and older sister Jonah nearly missed it. They came at the very end, Jessa explained. I was already pushing when they walked in the door. The reality star may have grown up in a famously large family, but she said adjusting to another baby is still a challenge. I feel like every day is different, she explained in a 2017 episode of Counting On. Some days it's very, very simple, other days it's a little more chaotic. Jessa wasn't the only one who needed to adjust. Speaking to PBL after Henry's birth, the couple opened up about Spurgeon's reaction to becoming a big brother. We thought, this is going to be so adorable, but he wasn't really sure about it, Jessa said. He thought Henry was a toy. Ben shared their eldest had no concept of being soft. Luckily, that might not have been an issue for Henry, who Jessa described on the Duggar family blog as bold, rambunctious, and full of energy. She shared that he has a strong sense of right and wrong, and loves to sing, read, and snuggle with his parents. Jessa celebrated Henry's 6th birthday with a sweet Instagram post. Henry is a ray of sunshine in our home, she wrote alongside a photo of him with an ice cream cone. She went on to describe his love of reading, building Legos, and cuddling up to her before praising his ability to care for his sister Ivy. He's so gentle and caring towards his baby sister and absolutely adores her, Jessa wrote. He's both tender and bold, loving and full of laughter, Ivy Jane Seawald, 6. On May 26, 2019, Jessa and Ben welcomed their first baby girl and their child, Ivy Jane. She feels so tiny compared to her siblings, the pair said in a statement. But she is always so loved. Her big brothers adore her, although Jessa and Ben waited to meet their sons. They had Ivy picked out for their daughter when she was born. Ivy Jane, they just liked those two names for themselves. They liked the way those names flowed together. He went on to explain the meaning behind the name. Jinger and Joanna Duggar addressed Voulo after sisters both gave their daughters same nicknames. Jinger Duggar wrote and shared the backstory behind how her niece and her daughter shared the same nickname. The second-in-law Lydia, 31, and her husband Jeremy Voulo sat down with her sister Joanna Duggar Forsyth on the latest episode of the Jinger and Jeremy podcast to talk about everything from faith to falling in love. During the episode, the trio also revealed the backstory behind how their daughters got the same nickname. There is some drama with the name. Well, it's not really drama, but it was a funny incident with Evie when you named Evelyn. Tell that story, Jeremy said to Joanna. We've had 2 people in the last week be like, oh, there's 2 Evies. Because especially when we're together, we get asked, added Joanna. Y'all kept your Evie. Her name was a secret until she was born, and she was born about 6 months before our Evie, Jinger explained. When she was born, you sent a video to the family, and you said, first we're going to tell you the nickname name. It's Evie. When you sent that video, I'll never forget. We looked at each other like, oh my goodness, Jeremy added. At the time, the couple, who would typically keep their names quiet, called Joanna and her husband Austin Forsyth to find out if it was okay that their names were the same. We've had like friends who had issues with people like, oh, I'm gonna share the name, and then no one likes it, she explained. But once that baby's born, everybody thinks it's the cutest name ever. So that's our motto, our theory on it.